What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of Rue's Reviews and welcome back to another app review. Today we are chatting about Picasso Pro by Promystic and Ellusionist. Let's get into it. So, what is Picasso Pro? Picasso Pro is based on the colour match routine that Craig Felicetti and Promystic brought out way back in the day. It's a routine that I've used in all my close-up shows and have been using for a long time, and a lot of my stage shows as well. In fact, I love it so much that the actual finale for my Fringe show, which unfortunately we're not able to do this year in Brighton and Edinburgh, the finale for that is a colour match routine using advertising. It's one of those routines that just absolutely slays. And what this app has done has brought it into a new sort of modern framing. All you need is your phone and their phone and you can create this miracle. So essentially what happens is you get someone to go to a website where they can colour in a picture, or they can draw the picture themselves. I have one that's set up so they can just go to it and colour in this specific picture. It's of a Lego man. So they pick the colours, you tell them where to draw, and they match your prediction exactly. So I managed to perform this, so like I do with everything, I have to go out and work it and try it first. Obviously I can't go out, but what's perfect about this is you can do it via virtual shows, right? So seeing as my work has pretty much stopped at the moment, I am doing a lot of virtual conferences, virtual performances, one-on-one, and I tried it last night on a friend of mine just to sort of see how it works, and I used my prediction, which is in here, and the prediction is a little Lego man. There he is. This is what I use in my close-up performances as well. So the fact that you can do this across the world as well, like I tried it with a friend of mine who was based in England, but I also tried it with a friend of mine who's based in Maryland, USA, and I tried it via Instagram and it worked flawlessly. So for me, it's reminiscent of Wikitest. If you know the functions of Wikitest that allow you to pair instantly, this is very much like that. So initially when this came out, I saw Craig put his name to it. Anything Craig puts his name to, I instantly buy or want to get. It feels like a bit of an odd collaboration, Ellusionist and Promystic, but it does work in the context of this app. Now, as such, as new apps go out, there's always teething problems, okay? I haven't had any, okay? I haven't had not one teething problem. The only problem that I had was my own mistake, which has been sorted out in forums, but that was my own mistake. There seems to be an issue with Android phones, occasionally certain Android phones. A lot of people, this is what happens when you're starting a new app or sort of got to that stage where it's ready for release. Things can happen that are unprecedented, okay? There's a lot of people online commenting on certain forums saying that the app doesn't work, which, you know, isn't the case for a lot of people. The app is working flawlessly for me. I've not had one hiccup, as I say, apart from the one that I messed up on. Now, Ellusionists have been working on this with Promystic for about 3 years, so the R&D that's gone into it so far has been for that length of time. This is both available for Android on Google Play and on Apple on the App Store, which is great that you've got an app that's available for both Android and Apple. It's kind of rare nowadays. So with this app, you send your participants, your spectators, to a certain website. This website can, as I say, be set up with a drawing that you make, or they can draw the image themselves. This website doesn't look dodgy in any way. It sort of feels like it's there and just usable for anyone. And with this app, you have your own unique user ID. So it's the name of the website / this unique user ID. And this will lead people to the specific page that allows you to pair instantly with their phone. So the actual multi-functions of this app, anybody that uses Promystic effects will know that there are certain things you need to have to allow effects to work. Your phone acts like one of those things. So you get the same response on your phone as you would with one of those devices. There is also another way, which is a visual way. So you're able to peek information very easily, very openly, and there are a few ways of doing this. It's really cool. There's a lot of ways of being able to gain the information that you need to know to make this work. In fact, what I'm going to do now is show some footage. Now, this footage was filmed last night with a friend of mine. There is no audio. For some reason, the iPad doesn't record audio. Trust me, I've tried everything. So yeah, there are subtitles, but this is the performance to show you what it looks like through camera. So, here we go.
look, you got the sauce, bitch.
Great, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. That just shows a brief breakdown of what the effect looks like and how I do it. But this is literally limited by your imagination. You have so much scope to go anywhere with it. So we get into the teaching and the instructions by Lloyd Barnes. As with everything Ellusionist put out, the instructions are great. They break them down. There's a really cool thing that they have where you just literally a drop down menu and you can see the overview, performances. Ryan Tricks does some performances. Drop down, there's the methods and then crediting and history and all this sort of stuff, which is great. The actual routine that Lloyd Barnes goes into, he chats about also doing additional forces, which are quite cool. So I think he gets them to draw this person, or the person's already drawn out, they colour in, then they think about one specific thing that they've coloured in, and it sort of makes them think of a specific celebrity, maybe a musician, and they have a picture of this musician in the same colours, dressed in the same way that they've coloured in the photo. It's a really cool, really nice additional add-on to these colour match reveals. So, the time that it takes to pair devices has been instantaneous. I've had no lag, like literally none whatsoever. The way of doing it is pretty much like you would with Wikitest if you own Wikitest. It's not exactly the same, but it's a similar method. And here's the thing, the price point that this is, it could have been a lot more. It really could have been a lot more. In fact, part of me wishes that it was. It is the fact that I can now do this colour match effect, which I do literally day in, day out in working professional shows, just out and about with my friends, like in a casual situation. That is nuts. Like, to be able to have that ability. And even in working situations, like for me, the original colour match effect was the pens in the pot, which would be used for more parlour or stage, or the little crayons, and you take the crayons out and you'd have to carry them around with you to every gig. I do this another way now using the Inside Out Cube. The fact that you can use an app, this would probably be a new way of even performing it at professional gigs, which I hadn't even really thought about, but thinking about it now, I would still probably perform this at a paid professional gig because it is still that strong. So, good and bad points about this app. First, good point. What you're getting is an app that's been made and developed over the last 3 years by Promystic and Ellusionist. Promystic, as everyone knows, is the high end. It's the coup de grace, the king of mentalism products, right? And the fact that they've got together and made this app is absolutely blinding. So well done, Ellusionist team and Craig, Felicetti and Promystic for coming together and making this. A bad point. As I mentioned, there are some teething issues with the app. I haven't had any myself, but there seems to be a lot of them online. So maybe wait a little bit just before going out and getting to see if any bugs have been ironed out. But I will just get it anyway, because the chances are you'll be all right. If you're on an Apple phone, Android, I think have had some issues, but they are pushing forward updates to make sure that this is sorted out. I've had literally no issues, none. And this has been from my house to people in the UK to people across the world, and it's been flawless for me. A good point. And this is going to be a good and bad point. The price point is really good, right? It's really good. I think it's like 28 quid UK prices, which I feel is far too low for this app. It is what it is, and it's an amazing price point for anybody that wants to do this sort of colour match routine. Another bad point, and I don't know if this is something they're going to update or not, but when I've done the colour match routine in the past, I've learnt my colours a specific way. I now have to relearn them again to be able to do the effect on this app. There isn't a way to sort of change the colours to match a memorised colour system that you already know in your head. But if there was a way in the future that maybe you could adapt these colours to have certain different amounts of feedback, people know what I mean by feedback, for the separate colours, and then that would be a great option as well. Another good point, and it's going to be my last good point, the fact that you can do this now anywhere, anytime, is always on you, I think is phenomenal. Like, you are literally limited by your imagination. I'm already thinking about using Instagram predictions. It's up there, people can go and see, maybe sending emails beforehand. All that kind of stuff you can do out and about in public without having to carry the certain Promystic devices that you need to be able to make this stuff work. And I have a feeling it's going to be one of those apps that people are just going to use and use, like Digital Force Bag or Wikitest. It is always going to be on them and it's always going to be in use. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this app review. If you want to comment below, get in the comments below. Let me know your user experience, or if you want any more knowledge about this app, I will do my best to answer the questions. And yeah, congratulations, Lloyd Barnes, Ellusionist team, all the creators who developed the app, and Craig Felicetti and Promystic for collabing and making this a reality. It's really very, very cool. Well done, guys. Links below where you can get it, and I'll see you soon.